I mean, what would you write for the second text?
Question mark. I think just at the end of the day, my number one piece of advice when dating or relationships is don't overthink something. Just like
Triple text.
is quadruple text. Turn up at the house if they don't respond. Break and enter.
Don't think about it. Just do it. Go with your impulses.
Anyway,
see where it leads. My now ex-boyfriend broke up with me a few months ago after I found out he was cheating on me. It was awful as we lived together and we went to uni together. Not only did I go to uni with him, but also with the other women he was cheating on me with. We were together for 3 years. Now, another guy I also go to uni with, I used to date 5 years ago. My ex was aware of him and we've all been really good friends. He also broke up with his girlfriend that he dated for a similar amount of time. We have always been friends ever since the breakup, and I was also friends with his ex-girlfriend. Sounds like a very close group of lots of exes and they're all still friends. Good for them.
It's like a sex uni class?
No, I don't think it's a sex uni class, or is it? Fast forward to now. I am now a lawyer and finished with uni and don't have to see my ex that often except on social occasions. I've caught up with this other guy a couple of times and we have had a real vibe for about a month now. On Saturday night, he invited me to his house with a bunch of our lawyer friends from uni, including my ex. And after a lot of alcohol, my ex and the other people all left. And then this one guy asked me to stay over the night to chat, which I did. I don't know why the ex was imperative to this conversation. He has nothing to do with it.
Also, the old stay to chat.
Let's talk
No
about
one wants to talk at 2 a.m.
lawyering. Let's talk about being lawyers with our private parts. One thing led to another and we had sex and it was really great. He also said that he enjoyed it. I stayed the night. We hugged. He made me coffee and breakfast in the morning
Well,
and
they
took
didn't
me
have
home.
sex?
No, they had sex.
Oh, and hugged.
We had sex and then hugged.
Sorry, you left that part out. You just said I stayed the night and hugged. I was like, wow. Rawr.
A few hours after he dropped me off, I messaged him and said, "Thank you for dropping me off and I had fun last night." He read the message. He still hasn't replied. In the whole 5 years I have known him, he has never, ever left me on read. I don't want to come across as desperate, but do I double message him now? I still have his clothes and don't know what to do. It's also not like we're not going to see each other again. We are literally in the same friendship group and are both invited to another party this coming weekend. Please help.
I asked Ben about this because we can give advice as women on like how we feel, double texting, what the situation was like, what it means. We read into a lot. But at the end of the day, I wanted a man's opinion to be like, okay, you've done this. You've banged this chick. You know her. It's been a couple of days. She wrote to you to thank you after you made her breakfast. Does she message you again? Like, what would happen if she got a double text? And why didn't you respond? So Ben said two things. He said, you are getting mixed signals for sure because the making of the breakfast and coffee in the morning
Oh, totally.
is like a
I hate the guy already.
is I really did enjoy that and like you
I want you to hang around.
and want to be respectful and all of that. But then also the leaving you on read and not responding to a message that's specifically about the night you spent together is, you know, giving you the opposite message, just saying like, I'm not that interested. I haven't written back. He thinks you are overreacting in this situation, like overthinking it. He thinks you can 100% double text. He's like, even if you like a girl, sometimes you get busy and you don't respond for whatever reason. He's like, so a double text is fine. Absolutely never, unequivocally do not triple text was Ben's advice. Like a double is done. The breakfast making in this situation could be because you are friends.
Yeah.
He does respect you, but maybe he doesn't want anything else. So long story short, you're fucked. There's no right answer now until this weekend. So I would just play it off. You know you're seeing him in a couple of days' time. Just be cool. Don't overthink it. See him at the party and get the vibe of what happens.
I 100% fucking good advice, Ben.
Oh, he
Yes.
really nailed it
Yes.
today.
Okay, so I think that you hit the nail on the head. I think he very much wanted to have sex with you. He doesn't necessarily want a relationship with you, but he respects you as a friend and therefore felt that the aftercare was important, but doesn't want to necessarily message you back about the sex with enthusiasm that would give you the idea that he's invested beyond it just being something that is casual, which is shit. Because my big thing here is like, don't fuck your friends if it's going to fuck your friendship, which this might do if there's been intense flirting for a period of time. And I just think it's so unnecessary. There's so many other people you can have sex with. Like, don't ruin your friendship group, especially if you think someone might want more than just like a casual hangs and bangs. Anyway, now that I've got that part out of the way, I agree. The only thing that you can do is just send another message, gauge the response, play it cool, and play it cool on the weekend. Because just because he did have sex with you and something happened, that wasn't a confirmation of anything to come either. So I don't want you to catastrophize the situation. I don't want you to kind of get ahead of yourself. I don't want you to self-sabotage the situation either. Just don't think too much about the second text. Like, looking forward to seeing you this weekend. I mean, what would you write for the second text?
Question mark. I probably wouldn't second text because you've seen him.
No, my second text would be like, hey, whatever your name is, I have your clothes. Do you want me to drop them around or should I give them to you this weekend? Lol, I'll meet you in the car park so you don't, we can do the exchange under the cloak of darkness.
That's a good one for sure. But yeah, the thing for me is, or maybe you don't do that. Maybe you take the clothes in the car. And that is your way of being like, hey, I have the clothes in the car if you want to grab them. And then you can hook up again later if you want it. But I think you're overthinking this. And the last thing I want to say is, and I'm only touching on it because you've specifically put it in here because I know we think it means something. It doesn't. You said we hugged through the night, like we cuddled through the night. We put so much emphasis on that. Like, we think that if a man's not interested, he won't touch us all night. But if he cuddles us in bed, like, he cuddled me the whole night. Like, it was really something. It's not.
No.
We love human connection. And whether it's just for 24 hours, like the first time I saw Ben, I didn't think I was going to see him again. We were holding hands walking around thinking that it was nothing. But I was like, this is a nice moment to feel some love, affection, connection. It doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means.
Men love to treat you like you're their girlfriend when you're not their girlfriend.
For 24
and they
hours.
want nothing from you.
Yeah,
They
they could
don't
care.
want a commitment. They'll do it for years and not commit. Men, like, not all men, I should say. I know there'll be some offended listeners. Some men love all of the things that come with feeling like you have a girlfriend without the responsibility. That is the cuddling, the hand-holding, the introducing to your friends, the making weekend plans, the doing dinners. There are people who will treat you exactly like you are their girlfriend, except they won't put a label on it. Run for the fucking hills.
No, I want to defend men here. I've done that.
Oh, yeah, totally. I'm
Women
the
do
same.
it. Like,
But I care
like,
more because I've been on the receiving end of it. I've also
Same.
done it to people, though.
I have been the giver hardcore. Like the guy that used to turn up at my house at 4 a.m. with flowers, the weirdo. I kept him around because I liked.
He wasn't a weirdo, Britt. You did that to him. You made him a weirdo.
No, I didn't.
He was invested and you were like, I don't know what I
But
want.
there are times that you know that something is not going to be forever. Doesn't mean you're not enjoying the moment and
Totally.
enjoying what it is. Like, I love people that date not just for an end goal. Sometimes you date for a period of your life because they're not your penguin, but you're learning something from it. You're enjoying it. You are having fun. There's physicality, there's intimacy, but it doesn't have to be your penguin.
Do you know who gave the absolute best advice? Matthew Hussey, on this exact kind of topic. And I know we've gotten a little bit ahead of ourselves, but for anyone who's questioning whether they're in a situationship and that person is ever going to give them the things that they want, he was like, the time that you should believe what someone says over their actions is in the instance that a person that you are seeing is saying to your face, I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I'm not ready for a relationship, but they're still doing all the things that would make you think that actually maybe they might change their mind. And the reason for that is because it is a great inconvenience to them to say the words and to tell you that they don't want something from you because they could lose all that intimacy. You could walk away. They are giving you verbally every opportunity to make a decision. And just because their actions indicate otherwise, they then still have the get out of jail free card, the mental get out of jail free card. Well, yeah, I told you I didn't want anything. You can't be angry at me that we cuddled. You can't be angry at me that I introduced you to my mum and brought you over for Christmas. I told you I wasn't ready for a relationship. So in those instances, if you find yourself in that place where someone is verbally saying to you something that isn't convenient to them, believe that over any of their actions.
Yeah,
and I know that that's a little bit of a head in this situation, but when he said that, I was like, oh my God.
I think just at the end of the day, my number one piece of advice when dating or relationships is don't overthink something. Just like
Triple text.
is quadruple text. Turn up at the house if they don't respond. Break and enter.
Don't think about it. Just do it. Go with your impulses.
Anyway,
see where it leads you.
Let us know how Saturday night goes though. Like, give us an aftermath. We've had a few aftermaths coming in. So send us what happens on Saturday night because I think this just came in. And so let us know.
Instant. Could I also say one other option that could be? He might like you. He might want something.
Of course.
But he might not be ready to kind of deal with what that might mean from transitioning the friendship to something that could be more.
Again, we're overthinking it. He just hasn't texted you back yet.
And might need some processing time.
He's not thinking about it yet. He knows he's seeing you on the weekend. That's what I think. I think you're fucked. He made you breakfast. You're friends. You're seeing him on the weekend. Like, cruise.